everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Big E, of course, is here. Jay is here. How are you, my friend?
Hello. I'm well.
Good. You and you guys enjoy your ride in?
Yeah, it wasn't
Felt
too bad
bad for you today.
It's looking like it's the snowmageddon is gonna actually get us.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad right now.
I assume you're dressed like you're going to the office or something today, like a lawyer would do. And I was like, that must be in case he spins out and there's a horrible, violent death of a car accident you're involved in. That at least you're dressed, you look like a pro.
Yeah, I had
You know what I mean?
my best underwear on.
Yep. I mean, if you would have come in here in like a like a 12-year-old MSU sweatshirt and some sweatpants.
No, I had a meeting. Had to see a guy about a horse.
Oh, okay. So it had nothing to do with your potential death in the snow. Okay.
But I'm, killed two birds with one stone. That's good.
There you go. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be pretty nasty out there. It started coming down later, much later than they said, but Snowmageddon is on, and
we'll be all right.
The news is all over it. Boy, oh boy, they're reporting
they
live
are.
from. There's something to actually report about.
News.
Oh my God, snow's falling. And I'm guessing this is the dumbest question you'll ever be asked this year, but was school canceled for the children?
Oh my God, they've only gone to school half a day over the last 4, I think.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think they had 2 snow days last year, 2 ice days.
Ice days, yeah.
And then they got half a day in, I think. And then today's a snow day, obviously.
They must be loving that.
Yeah,
This
ridiculous.
This idea that they get to find out the night before. Are you shitting me? That is game changing.
Dream come true.
Because I mean, the fact is, that when you get a snow day, you can't wait to get outside and play and all that. Like it affects you none. Nobody is locked in the house. You know, you stay the night with your buddies. You play video games, snowball fights, sledding. It's on.
Up until all hours for sure.
Oh hell yeah! So well, good for them. They'll have fun making it up come June and whatnot.
Strangely enough, it's amazing. They keep it right in that zone of the number that they're allowed.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. That's
a dangerous.
I don't want to
game,
be cynical,
man.
Mike. I don't want to be cynical.
To me, that's like taking the under in a tackle ball game. You know what I mean? Like at any point, teams can go on a back and forth run and blow your whole game up.
Yeah, they had, a couple of years ago when we had that massive record-breaking year, they burned a few too early.
Mm-hmm. And you look back and you go, bet you sure wish you had that dusting day back that you called the night before.
They know how to play it. It just so happens most snow days are on Fridays or Mondays. Ooh,
not that it matters. They're about to hit that big giant summer break and forget everything they learned anyways. So
they get their summers off.
Hell yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, I thought about it. That was another thing that changed. Like when Jay just said they happen to be Mondays and Fridays. I swear I don't think I ever. Well, not ever, but like it. I never had that. Like
it's weird now.
Right. What do you mean? Like you never had what? Like a Wednesday off? It was always a Friday or Monday.
No, that was my point. Like it didn't. I never. It always felt like they'd try it. I never. I think they're more likely to give a Friday or Monday, and I didn't have
anecdotal recollection.
Can you explain what he's trying to say?
His anecdotal recollection is that he did not have Fridays and Mondays off. They always fell in the middle of the week when he did happen to have a snow day.
Gotcha.
But now, like I said, it's crazy how many are Fridays and Mondays.
Yeah, that must just be
coincidence,
right? Because I mean, they can't judge when the snow's coming. Anyway, wanted to mention it. We won't spend much time on it. We're going to do the drawing for the Darren McCarty autographed jerseys to anyone that donated to our GoFundMe. We'll do that tomorrow. I had him cut the names out of every person that was in it, and so he did. He cut all his little pieces of paper out, folded them up. So
are we sure he accomplished this task correctly?
Well, he did. He didn't finish it. He was supposed to bring it in, and so, but he forgot his computer bag where
I copy and pasted onto a Word document. I mean,
well, you don't need to redo and cut all those names out again. So he'll bring those in tomorrow. We'll do a drawing. So people have been asking when we're going to do it. We'll do it tomorrow. Want to thank everybody for getting us over $13,000 last night. And I got to be honest, Jay, there was some shenanigans maybe on my part.
Tomfoolery?
Yeah, wool was being pulled.
What'd you do?
I got a message from someone, or somebody in our crew got a message from some listener that was like, that fucking piece of shit, Travis Bully, he bid $3 more than me, so he's up, as far as donations go. I'm going to donate now and overtake him. And I was like, oh, cool. So somebody grabbed my, I don't know, snapshot of that, and then somehow it got into Bully's hands, and then there was a vicious back and forth between the two, trying to one up each other.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard anyway. So
I'm confused by technology. I said in my message, so if I were to have sent a weird screenshot to a competing bidder, I don't know. I mean, maybe I sent a weird, I've made a mistake.
Might have been you, might have been Jay, might have been me. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Of course not.
Yeah, we got over $13,000, and I don't know. I guess GoFundMe will take their 7%.
Yeah,
I think that's their take, and then they They take a penny per donator. Okay, here's your $2.
Right,
What is the fucking point to taking a penny per donator?
I think it's just in case it goes viral, right? If something goes worldwide viral.
Oh,
and there's like 1 million donations. All of a sudden, they pick it up.
They can grab onto a shitload of pennies all at once. That's not a bad answer. That makes a little bit of sense. In fact, I saw that happen over the weekend.
Why not go 10 cents though? Think about it. Like,
I know.
Would we balk at 10 cents
or 5 cents?
Right.
A nickel, you'd be like, nickel. So what does it cost you? Another $10 or something?
Right.
But yeah.
I don't know. I think that people would start to think more about it.
Yeah.
I mean, even at 10, I think 10 cents would be a big difference to me versus a
Yeah,
cent.
because there's really
$16.
no rhyme or reason to it. It's not like you're, it's for postage and handling. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It's just
they
like this
do it.
digital thing, that like, oh, by the way, we're just going to skim a couple bucks more off the top. But I was reading Twitter and I saw Patton Oswalt trending over the weekend. And I was like, oh, Patton must be, calling Trump a piece of shit or a Hitler or something,
Yeah.
And I got there and Patton is like, yeah, just got done. This guy shit all over me on Twitter today. So I shit on him back. And then, it's like, I will do this too. I'm guilty of this. When you want to gain some ammo. So you just kind of scroll through their shit a little bit, see if you can get some background on them. While he's doing, he's like, oh man, I start scrolling through this guy's stuff and wow, the world has dealt this dude a really shit hand. He's all fucked up.
So he opened a GoFundMe for him.
And no, this guy had a GoFundMe.
Okay.
And he's like, so, we might not agree on everything, but it's time to make the world a better place. So hopefully you'll join me in donating to this man's GoFundMe. And it was shared a link.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened up, there's a picture of this guy like in a hospital bed with tubes everywhere. It's I gotta tell Patton Oswalt to fuck off. Still find a way to do that. All of a sudden, that was important. He's laying there all fucked up in bed, and he's got like $5,000 to help him pay his medical bills, this and that. All of a sudden, it's at $31,000 because Patton shared it, and all these people are like, "Yep, just donated. Thanks, Patton. Just thanks to Patton, I donated."
Wow,
And
there's a life lesson for you.
Totally. And you know what? This guy was like, "Oh man, this changes my view on a lot of things, seeing the kindness of people that I don't normally agree with," and blah. And it's like, yes, that's the point. You know the term, catch more whatevers with whatever than you do with whatever. You know that saying?
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, dude, if you just start yelling at people, you're a piece of shit, fucking Hitler, racist, like no one's going to go, yeah, you got me. No, it's when you do something kind. Be nice. It's Jay's mantra. It's
just generally. I'm not saying you got to give a hug. Just generally be nice to everyone.
Just don't walk by someone and just go, fuck you, flip them off for no reason. Hold the door. Be kind.
Hold the door. Say
That's all
thank
you gotta
you.
do.
Yeah, look at this picture. Oh no.
Look at this dude.
Oh
no.
shit.
Oh no.
Sepsis, diabetic ketoacidosis, and a coma.
Yeah, he's got the oxygen going. Looks like the Buddy character from Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
The guy that's dying constantly.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that dude is also on Twitter ripping apart Patton.
Hold on. Before my next surgery. Fuck off, Pat, you piece of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. No, he's got hundreds of retweets and yeah, it's kind of cool. So I imagine they're getting their pennies worth.
Yeah, there you go.
The
There's an
GoFundMe.
example. Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website, DetroitCast.com. The page includes businesses owned by listeners, so take a look. It'd be great for you to support the fellow listeners who support the show. Today's featured listing is The Blind Biz. They specialize in all types of custom blinds, shades, and shutters. They give free in-home consultations and free installation. They serve all of Metro Detroit. They're great. A lot of listeners have used them.
Yep.
Blind Biz is great. So check them out at DetroitCast.com under the Help the Show tab.
Do you remember offhand, maybe for new listeners, what the definition of docking is?
Boy, I can't.
Docking is the insertion of one man's glands into the foreskin of another's.
I'm glad Jerry was able to chime in there because it was
it
not
slipped
coming
my
to
mind too. We should have researched that before we went live. Rather non-professional of us. So unprofessional. That's what I meant. Anyway, I got an email from Jerry. Okay, I mentioned how I called him and was like, "Hey man, I need to know what your
status is.
Yeah, what your what your game is like.
Your foreskin.
Yeah, your foreskin status. Because we've got someone we're trying to talk into maybe doing a little docking session and blah, blah, blah. So here's the response I got.
Tell me he has a prosthetic.
Normally he would call, but he's lost my cell phone number. So, hi, Mike and comrades. I got your message only on Saturday, as I don't always catch up to messages, being so slow and glamorous.
What does that even mean?
He's slow and glamorous, man. Let him do his thing. He's not on your clock. He's on his own.
But what does glamorous mean?
I think it fits for him. He built his own crown. What do you mean you don't know what glamorous means? Anyway, I am heartened to know someone wants to dock with me. But my skin, though loose enough to fool medical students often enough, is not enough to accommodate a glans, especially when I'm erect. I read between the lines that there is a project afoot to get me there, which is also heartening, as I have very fond memories of the cast and crew. I hope your fellow there might be friendly, playful. This is going to get a little rough, so I'm just going to warn you right now. Just buckle up and just hang on tight. And,
got turbulence.
Yeah, I think Jerry gets a little excited and just, So
here we go.
Oh, shit.
I hope your fellow there might be friendly, playful, and possibly not bad looking. And I would be glad to consider seriously playing with guys who want to engage in affectionate goofing around, foreskins or not. And it goes without saying that in Detroit, I would not necessarily be limited to Jack's rules, which allow for plenty of invention and improvisation already, docking included.
Oh, God.
I'll see if I can reach you guys tomorrow morning by telephone using the call-in number. I seem to have misplaced Mike's personal number, about which I'm sure Dr. Freud would have something to say. Oh, yeah. I don't require one-at-a-time encounters or group play, which I enjoy even more often, just in case I need a basketball gymnasium or something. Love and best wishes, Jerry, voice of the Jacks.
Woof, woof.
Yeah, and then he said,
I think Detroit would be an extremely fascinating place.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Sent a picture of a loading dock.
Loading dock, yes.
Wow.
So
Gerald.
Let me see the loading dock.
It's just a picture of it.
I know, but it's like he's not the most technology app person.
Stop it.
So the fact that he was able to pick he really cared.
Yeah, he pulled a photo into his email.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure did.
It's awesome, man.
Maybe that's why it took so long for him to get to respond. It's because he had to ask. He's like, I need a photo for this email. He had to ask somebody how to.
So anyway, we promised you guys we'd bring him to town for East thing in February. So we will do that. We got to get on that quick because that's only a few weeks away. We got to get his flight hooked up and blah, blah, blah. So that'll be fun. So
Paging Mr. Bully. Paging Mr. Bully.
Yeah. Anyways, today, Jay, big anniversary day. 33 years. Can you believe it's been 30? Actually, that seems about right. 33 years since Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in the air.
And we don't want to tell any jokes about it, you know.
No.
The color of her eyes.
Oh, fucking one blue this way, one blue that. It's like, dude, over the fucking line. And
way over the line.
There's a reason you've never heard us mention, some tasteless, rude joke like, oh, what kind of shampoo did you know she had dandruff? Christy McAuliffe. Yeah, they found her Head and Shoulders on the beach, and it's like
it's too soon. It's too soon.
You know what? It's not fun. It's not funny. What was the last thing heard on the shuttle? Some asshole would do that. Like, what's this button do?
Right.
Like, the dumb woman would push the red button.
We're not gonna go there.
No, absolutely not. But 30. Usually, it's like it's been X many years since this happened. You're like, what? It feels like yesterday.
No, that does feel like 33.
33
It actually
years.
feels like more.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So this would have been in today's date, January 28th, 1986. It had been delayed several times that day because of it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's in southern Florida, but it's still cold. But they were like, no, we got to get that fucking bird in the air. We've got all these missions planned, like a bunch of them, and we're going to get backed up. So get it up there. And so with all systems registering go, the countdown began. The shuttle blasted off at precisely 11:38 in the morning. And we all remember watching that in classrooms because Christy McAuliffe was on that flight. 73 seconds into the flight, witnesses began to see a little flame move up the side of the fuel tank, then what looked like an explosion as the tank collapsed into its contents. The fuel propellants mixed and just fucking exploded everywhere. At first, Johnson Space Center officials in Houston were not aware of what happened. They continued to talk routinely like,
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. And then they're giving speed information, and this thing's like, and then it's
which piece of that are you measuring at this point?
Yeah.
Speed of what?
Dude, some of these stats though, it always looks like it's crawling. Do you have video there, E, of the actual?
Oh yeah, because you just have the tight shot on it. And it just looks like,
it just looks like it's going up. No big deal.
T-minus 21 seconds, and the
we start at
solid,
21.
Booster engine gimbal now underway.
No, not you. I mean them. It's
No, but do you want me to
Yeah,
fast
go ahead.
5, liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission. And it
Doesn't look like it's going like 15.
Yeah.
Looks like he's in a school zone. He's actually about 400 miles an hour right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. This is going perfect. Everything's great. What does this button do? It's like, wow, this is amazing.
Engines beginning throttling down now.
Oh yeah.
At 94%. Normal
Yeah, that
throttle.
looks cool.
For most of the flight, 104%.
Yeah, Roger, copy that over.
We'll throttle down to 65% shortly.
See, I'm assuming they're hauling balls at this point.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going a couple thousand miles an hour at this point.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, not kidding.
Normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs.
And then this is, I think, where it takes a little bit of a turn.
Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Down range
That's fine.
distance 3 nautical miles.
I would have just said miles, not nautical. I don't think
So
nautical
the
was
25th
necessary.
Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after
Everything looks
delays
great.
that NASA cares to count.
Tom
This
Mint
morning,
here,
it looks
reporting
as though
live
we're
for
not going to be able to
CNN.
get
Oh,
off.
no.
Oh,
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles.
Yep,
Down
9
range
nautical
distance,
miles.
7 nautical miles.
who made a wishbone? Why did we do that? That is the space shuttle continuing on its way. It's a little thing called gravity gets in the way. What they're trying to do here.
Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew
Decided to
away
be
from the
dicks.
side of the shuttle.
Isn't this where you step up and you have a very classic call of the play?
Yeah.
Oh, the humanity!
humanity!
Right?
Yes.
This is your chance, Minter.
Yes,
Minter
yes.
just calls it like straight.
Do you believe in miracles?
Well, it appears that the space shuttle has undergone some sort of decompression.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just a classic scientist, NASA nerd, pushing his glasses up. Well, speed altitude at 26
I mean, that's your
nautical
chance,
miles.
man.
I know, right?
Oh, Lord God Almighty!
Oh, the humanity! Which is a fraudulent call, by the way, if you look back at
Really?
that. Yeah.
That was the Hindenburg.
I
Right?
think we talked about that at one point, that the Zeppelin that went down the Hindenburg, that
Yeah.
the humanity!
That was added later.
No, it wasn't, but I think that guy was playing it up. And I think there's like...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Like, that's your chance, man.
I know, but I think he gets, oh, I'm weeping. Like,
There's
he's
only one
weeping.
Hindenburg.
I know, but I think he brings himself to tears.
I
and people
begrudge
are
him none.
but I think they're fraudulent
Yeah.
tears, alligator tears, if you will.
I don't know if this is. Guess this is it.
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure.
If you have a Zeppelin exploding,
Still now, they've dropped ropes out of the nose of the ship.
here comes the Hindenburg.
Taken a hold out
Oh,
down on the
my.
field by a number of
This
men.
thing really went up quick,
A
too.
large hydrogen bomb is about to go off.
Holding
It goes up so quick. We're just a skeleton in the sky.
It burst into flames.
Yeah. Wow.
Get it started, get it started. It's fighting.
There's
Get your
the
shot
Led
at-
Zeppelin cover.
Terrible. Oh my, get out of the way, please. It's burning, bursting into flames, and it's falling on the morning beds and all the folks between us. This is terrible. This is the worst of the worst.
See, that's how you call a disaster. Seriously. Look at the Hindenburg
Tight
comes
shot.
right into frame.
Yeah.
Oh, it was perfect.
Here he goes. Hold on. Don't step on this moment.
Not quite to the mooring mast. Oh, the humanity.
Yes. Yes, man.
Yeah, he brought it home.
He stepped up. The whole thing went down perfectly. You see the name of the
Oh.
vessel come into frame. It was just, and then it just went up in flames. The Hindenburg.
Dude, Hollywood could not do a swipe cut
No.
as perfect as the way
Beautifully
the
done.
camera pans up this Zeppelin that's burning to death, and you just see Hindenburg perfectly clear,
Oh.
and then within seconds, swallowed up in flames. And he shows true compassion. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, get out of the way. Oh, the humanity.
It's well done.
Well done. I swear to God, I did a deeper dive into this, and people are like, yeah, this call it wasn't true emotion. I think people were,
How can one
oh,
say?
people, get out of the way, the burning, and oh, no.
Saying that guy didn't care about people like getting out of the way of that? How do you measure that?
I'd have to if I was at the Bing machine, I'd be
you're-
searching for
if
the
you're
context
saying
that I'm
that it
talking
was
about. but-
entered later, like he's watching it later and then put down that audio, that's one thing. But if he's watching that, how can you judge that that's not real?
Would you blame him if he wanted a second take, though? If it was like, oh man, What we have here is the plane appears to be some faulty going on there and some burning going on. That's going to hurt some people. He's like, I need a second take, man.
Absolutely.
We laid it down on tape. It hasn't gone viral. Or it hasn't picked up, publicly yet. I need a new take. And that's where he gets in. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, move out of the way. This is possibly the biggest disaster in the history of the world. Oh, the fire.
How many people died on that? Because in reality, it's just a big fucking blimp, and it's impressive to see that shit go up in flames. What are we talking? A couple dozen people?
Maybe. I don't know how many you can stuff in there, but I'm shocked
in a dirigible
that the Goodyear folks decided to even continue on years later. You know what I mean? Like
they built a better blimp.
The disaster killed 35 persons on the airship, one member of the ground crew. But miraculously, 62 of the 97 passengers and crew survived.
It's great news.
67 passengers.
62 of the 97 survived.
The Hindenburg going up in flames like that was the best news they got all day.
Yeah.
It's great news.
Dude, 67. How many of them looked like Freddy Krueger by the time they got out of there? Is there anything about
I don't even know.
See who it is that makes the call, and then if you Bing his name, you might be able to find something about people.
Bing his name and fraud.
Yeah, his name and fake call, Hindenburg, fake tears or something. Yeah. I had something that was like major events of the world, and someone gave it to me for Christmas. It's got like this. It's like a color book, with all these images of these moments in time, and then CDs, so you can listen along and hear the original call. It goes through like 9/11, and I think that got me down the rabbit's hole of the whole Hindenburg thing.
I gotcha.
It was like,
what an interesting gift.
Well, if you're in the news world,
disasters,
if you're in the news world and you want to relive the calls of Kennedy being shot,
do you remember who gave that to you?
My mom. Maybe.
It's kind of interesting, Pat.
I've got it upstairs. I'll show it to you. It's fantastic. 9/11, Hindenburg, Titanic. Oh, the humanity.
Kind of dark, but whatever.
Hey, she knew she thought it was important that I knew some of my history
because of the classic calls in history.
And they might have even had, do you believe in miracles in there?
So I think Michaels, of course, stepping up big. Yeah, that was a huge call.
Yeah.
The Challenger, that's interesting. I don't remember the call being that poor. It's too bad.
Yeah. Well,
did anyone there was a million feeds on the Challenger. There had to be like Brokaw had to come up with something good. Jennings.
No. That is the fraud that has gone on, the lore of that story. The truth is much different. So the fall back to Earth, let me give you some of these stats first. The shuttle was 46,000 feet in the air when the accident happened, traveling at twice the speed of sound. That's how fast it was going.
Hauling balls, in other words.
Yeah. The craft continued its upward trajectory, reaching 65,000 feet about 25 seconds later.
Layman's terms, high as balls.
High as balls. Yeah, high as giraffe pussy this guy got, right? And so the shuttle was at the mercy of physics.
I've never heard that one. I like that.
It was at the mercy of physics and quickly torn apart. So Challenger falls back to Earth and hitting the Atlantic at 207 miles an hour.
Yeah, per gravity.
Yeah. Some 2 minutes and 45 seconds later. It took 2 minutes and 45 seconds for that thing to fall at 207 miles an hour and hit the water. The shuttle pieces struck the ocean surface at 200 times the force of gravity, far in excess of the structural limits of the crew compartment or crew survivability levels.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a real problem.
Smithereens?
Yeah. And, you could say smithereens. Yep. Now, a lot of people were like, oh, my God, it was the cold weather, It was like, no, motherfucker, it was the O-rings. Who was in charge of the O-rings?
Yeah, but wasn't it a combination of that? Didn't the cold weather cause the problem with the O-rings?
Yeah. But it's like, look, okay, so Bill is the engineer on the O-rings. And it's like, he's got his O-rings department. He's working on it. And he's like, all set, guys, here you go. And they're like, really? A nip in the air took your fucking whole thing down, Bill?
How about a heartier O-ring, sir?
Dude, it's Florida at 50 degrees.
Come on, man.
And it's about to go up and be like, 8 billion degrees, and yet a nip in the air blew your whole gaskets out. Jesus, Bill. He's just ducking off like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So they say weather in the official report is listed as just a contributing factor. And the engineers at the company that made the O-rings, a.k.a. Bill, said they tried to warn their bosses the night before. And that the seals could be brittle because of the cold weather and needed to be replaced. They would later testify that they were overruled and told the launch would go on as scheduled. So they were just fingers crossed, man. Let's hope Bill's O-rings can handle the nip in the air because it's going on one way or another. So They say the Challenger was different just because of the school teacher on there having just like a unknown person, school teacher.
Yeah,
and
a civilian.
A civilian, yeah. Christy McAuliffe, she was a high school teacher from New Hampshire, and she'd been chosen to go and teach lessons from the shuttle.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And so the world was watching, or the nation was watching.
Here are a few of the facts, though. Very few people actually saw this live. Very few. While several national networks had reported from Cape Kennedy that morning, only CNN was carrying the launch live to a nationally televised audience.
So Tom Minter, he's the only guy.
Yeah, basically.
And he dropped the ball, as indicated.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't they have some dry runs? Like, here's what you do in case of total disaster, what appears to be a shitstorm, and just kind of coach him a little bit, because he's used to being a nerd at traffic control, 10, 9, 8, 7, start fucking pumping him with, the humanity.
Right. It appears the space vessel has broken.
A little bit of problem there, I think. Yeah, it's still traveling about.
Appears to have been a fracture in the fuselage.
So, they say few watched it. Some network affiliates also carried the launch live to local markets, but not many. The largest audience to watch is all of us.
Mm-hmm.
The students, because NASA had arranged a satellite broadcast of the full mission to be available to schools so students could watch the first teacher in space. So that's why we all watched it, and it's like, it was everywhere. CNN would have been in its infancy then.
Yeah.
Not many people probably even had cable. So, CNN.
I don't even have cable now. I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah.
You did in 86, though, probably.
No. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, okay, that's
kidding me?
Yeah, it's triggering. Let that one sit. So CNN had it live. NBC was the first to break into regularly scheduled program. Those were the best, weren't
was
they?
that Brokaw then? Tom Brokaw.
NBC Nightly News. Yeah.
He was NBC. Jennings was
Jennings
ABC.
was ABC.
Yeah.
Yep. So NBC is the first to break in at 11:42 a.m. And whenever that, it's like All My Children or Green Acres is on.
That was shocking
and
when that shit would happen. Yeah.
We interrupt this program to bring you breaking news.
You
and
knew
it's
it
like
was big shit.
Who shot a president? Who fucking blew up something? It was always big. It was not like Trump tweeted this today,
right?
And pissed people off.
Yeah, it wasn't cable news breaking news.
Right.
Every cable news show has breaking news in the corner scrolling.
Yeah.
Trump showed up at the White House today.
Yeah. When Kennedy gets shot in the head, we interrupt this program to bring you this breaking news. And you can always tell that they're just putting it together now.
Yeah.
Because you'll see an arm reach into screen and give the guy a piece of paper. And I understand he's been rushed to. Is that right, guys? Is it General Hospital there? Okay.
Yeah, it was always interesting to see those guys do that,
on their feet, just like don't even a tie on.
Yeah, you were used to seeing them all, hair sprayed down and reading from the teleprompter or their notes, and then to have them go live was exciting.
Well, Cronkite is the one you think of. Like Cronkite, it's like
Kennedy.
There's the cigarettes going. You just see smoke billowing, and he's sitting sideways. There's a phone there, and people are handing him papers. He's like, "Is this right? Is this
accurate?
Ladies and gentlemen," pulls his glasses on. The president has been shot and confirmed dead, blah, 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 whatever he said.
It was a different world, man.
Little different. So NBC was the first to break in, and then ABC was a minute later, and then CBS. Slow down, guys. CBS comes in.
Is that Rather? Dan Rather rolls
late to the
in,
party.
Strolls up to the mic.
Yeah. I mean, dude, NBC is on this shit at 11:42. And fucking Rather is in the bathroom like, hold on, guys. He's doing his hair till 11:45. 3 minutes,
3 minutes, man.
3 minutes. It was like, is this big enough news? Rather's going, I don't think so, man. There was just one teacher on board.
Well, NBC just cut in.
Let me know when fucking Jennings goes, and then you can come. It's be important.
Honestly,
live.
Jennings goes live. In my mind, Mike, that's serious shit.
Yeah.
Even though he was Canadian.
Yeah, he was probably just thinking, look, dude, speech impediment is going to, who gives a shit if he goes hot?
This is Tom Brokaw.
Yeah, I'm seeing Nightly News reporting from Bosnia-Herzegovina.
By the way, he stepped in some shit the other day with some Hispanic comments. You probably have that story.
Yeah.
You guys, is his face swallowing his eyes?
Well, his mouth has been swallowing his tongue when he tries to do L's forever.
Pull up a recent picture of him, though. It's like his face is just like surrounding his eyes and eating them. It's very puffy.
I think he looks kind of pretty good, though, for his age. And, he's aged well. You think he's got a...
Bring him over.
You're not talking like a rotting pumpkin like Madonna.
No.
That look.
No, it just seemed very swollen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's taken over. God,
I hate when these when these moments happen, and it's like, yeah,
His eyes are so beady.
they
My
are.
God.
They are rather beady, but Brokaw's a legend in the broadcast world.
Yeah.
I don't like him, his giant head, or his beady little eyes.
But every time one of these guys says something, because he's a liberal dude, Brokaw's not a fucking Trump guy or anything like that, but so he can just step at it by going, yeah, I've been on the streets, I talk to people, and then this is what they say, and da 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 da, and I think we need to do better at this and that. And it's like, this is what you get, white and old. All right, Grandpa, time for Grandpa to go. It's like, okay, he can't even say anything. He's a respected broadcaster, can't give an opinion on
Well, you're
shit.
so used to just hearing him broadcast things to hear an opinion out of Brokaw. It's kind of like, wait, what?
Well, I
Isn't it
think
not
he's
even an
working.
opinion. He just all he said is, "I've heard people say this."
Well,
right?
he was on, I think, Meet the Press maybe.
Yeah.
But he's been doing this. He's been giving expert commentary to
really?
NBC or CNN or one of those for a few
He's a
years now.
consultant.
Yes, exactly. And so we'll get back to the shuttle here in a second. But yeah, he said Hispanics should work harder at assimilation, and Republicans fear having brown grandbabies, which seems like an odd thing to say. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's.
He was talking about the government shutdown and Trump demanding the funding for the wall, and he says the fact on the Republican side, Tom Brokaw, NBC Nightly News. He said a lot of people will see the rise of an extraordinary, important new constituent in American politics. Hispanics who will come here and all be Democrats.
Is this news? Like, this is new. Breaking news. Yeah. Tom Brokaw breaking in.
He's used to being one of 3 people on
delivering
TV,
the news.
Yeah, so
like,
it's like,
oh wow, Hispanics could mean something to the vote in the future.
The only reason you know how to pronounce Bosnia-Herzegovina is because I said it so many times. Okay,
it's true. It is true.
And so he's like, also, I hear when I push people a little harder, why are you pushing them, Brokaw? Well, I don't know whether I want brown grandbabies. I mean, that's also a part of it, he says. It's the intermarriage that is going on in the cultures that are conflicting with each other. I also happen to believe that the Hispanics should work harder at assimilation. That's one of the things I've been saying for a long time. They ought not to be just codified in their communities, but make sure that all their kids learning to speak English. They feel comfortable in the communities, and that's going to take outreach on both sides, frankly. Monster. I mean, just a monster. And I don't know if any of that shit was necessary to say. It's probably brown grandbabies that are the most
for sure
offensive, even pointing that out, while in reality is what he's saying there not partly true in a lot of people's opinions.
I don't know about the brown grandbaby thing, but yeah, I think people can have a good faith belief that there's a problem if segments of society are not assimilating to like English speaking and so forth.
Right.
There's a debate on both sides of that, but
yeah,
I don't think that that's overtly discriminatory to say that.
Well, I think it's more offensive. Like this later in the broadcast, White House correspondent for NBC, and Yamiche Alcindor. I hope I'm saying that right. She works for PBS NewsHour, not NBC. So she addressed Brokaw's remarks. I would say that we also need to adjust what we think of as America. Okay, here's where, okay, great. I'm pretty sure I know what it is that we consider America, but teach me something new. You're talking about assimilation. I grew up in Miami where people speak Spanish, but their kids speak English. And the idea that we think Americans can only speak English, as if Spanish and other languages wasn't always part of America, is in some ways troubling. Okay. Brokaw, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I need to do something. So he starts.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, of course, anybody can speak whatever the hell they want, but I think the concern is that there be like core American values that we're all kind of like rowing toward together,
It really seemed like we were
controversial. Or?
That was not, it is now apparently, but that wasn't for, I don't know, at least my entire lifetime until the last couple weeks. That was not crazy. And I think it's, people always point to, it's a melting pot. It's a melting pot of, it's like, yeah, but what, people will say, well, yeah, but you're trying to make it a salad bowl, with all different ingredients on top, not melting together, but kind of doing their own shit all over the place. It's like, yeah, it's meant to be a melting pot where it's like, oh, you come here for a better chance, learn the language, give your kids a better life than you had, the American dream, blah, blah, blah,
And moreover, we live in an age where there's government benefits, that will be doled out to people without hard work, and that's a big difference from 100 years ago when people came here.
Yeah, when it was just like, do you, man?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun. Hope for the best. Some of you are gonna make it. A lot of you aren't.
And there are quite a lot of people who actually returned to their homelands because they're like, it just didn't work out. Couldn't make it.
Couldn't pull it
off. Now
off.
it's like, why not stick, man? It's the best country on the planet, and you can just pull government benefits.
Yeah, and when it's a game too with politicians, and it's like, dude, that's so terribly frustrating when you can see the games being played, and it's like people that are born and raised here their whole lives going, dude, I don't even have insurance. This fucking asshole just hopped the border and he's entitled to absolute health care in New York City. Like, what? It's very frustrating for people. No offense. So Brokaw immediately knows he's in trouble. An apology. He's got these rambling, misspelled Twitter posts.
He's in a rush, man. Got to get it out there.
Robot Tom Brokaw starts fucking sparking and flipping out. I feel terrible. Part of my comments on Hispanics offended some members of that proud culture. From my days reporting on Cesar Chavez to documenting the many contributions of Hispanics in all parts of our culture, I've worked hard to knock down false stereotypes. In my final comment, in meat, I said all caps, sides have to work harder at finding common ground. I think he meant to say on meat, as in Meet the Press.
Oh, I see.
I said all sides have to work harder. That's what I'm thinking he's saying. And then several hours go by and it's still just chomping at Brokaw. Tom's flipping out again. So he goes back on Twitter. Finally, I am sorry. I never intended to disparage any segment of our rich, diverse society, which defines who we are. Finally, I am sorry I failed to convey my strong belief that diversity, dynamic, and inclusive is what makes America.
I love the thought of like what's going on between those, because he sent the first kind of apology, and then like you said, my kind of little time goes by, and he's like, oh shit, better do another one, and then he's like, like what's he doing? Like,
he probably was like, I'm just gonna let this sit, let everyone come back on Team Brokaw, and then he goes and
it didn't work.
Honey, let's go to lunch. I'm leaving the phone at home. We'll come back, and he opens the phone up, and it's probably just met with people going, fine. I didn't hear, and I'm sorry anywhere in that statement. Oh yeah, and then everyone runs with it like, it must not be too sorry. It was too sorry to say I'm sorry, as if that.
Well, I guess I better type another one.
Lastly, I just wanted to say I'm sorry, and I'm also sorry for this and that, and sorry.
Yeah. Why didn't he just say like, what do you need me to say? I'll say it. I'll do whatever. What do you want? Question mark. I'm whatever you want me to be.
You think he should have a Twitter poll? Well, Twitter poll. What should I say? I'm sorry. I'm old and white. What do you expect?
I'll do whatever. Whatever.
I'll let you guys choose what you're going to hear out of Tom Brokaw, NBC Nightly News' mouth.
Exactly.
Or these old people that keep stepping in it too. It's like and you just got to go, okay, how about we cut him some slack? He's not trying to fucking bum everyone out with his comments, So back to the shuttle. They say we've heard this before. The crew likely survived the initial explosion. The question remains, were the astronauts conscious as the crew compartment fell from the sky and slammed into the ocean at 207 miles an hour? They did a report. Anytime you got one of these big accidents, they get a big report going, and there was no way to tell exactly how or when the astronauts died. The cause of death cannot be positively determined. The forces to which the crew were exposed during orbital breakup were probably not sufficient to cause death or even injury, and the crew probably, but not certainly, lost consciousness in the seconds following the breakup due to in-flight loss of crew modular pressure. Yeah, that'll do it every time. That modular pressure is
so important,
so key. It's nearly impossible to know what happened, but the shuttle seats were in place and occupied at water impact. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
In place, they were still buckled in. Yep. And then they say there was a big hoax, and I remember this because NASA didn't release like the final conversation, the transcript, and so people are like, and I remember Clark got in this really big, like it was going around the internet for 20 years. Here's the actual transcript, and it really is compelling and does say, you could buy it, but NASA's since come out to say no, because it ends, the one that we did finally see the transcript ends with and then it's like, but we know they were still alive and trying to do something, and so the one that was going around the internet had this whole conversation, back and forth.
In reality, though, they probably have that wind tunnel face going, just screaming toward the ocean, right?
Yeah, and passed out immediately. It's like, they say
in total shock and fright.
Yeah.
At best, you're getting a fuck.
So yeah, I do have some of the transcript here. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny, but SSME thrust level at 100% for all 3 engines. And this guy's like, all right, here we go. And then the vehicle motion, initiation of vehicle roll program. I don't know what that means. And this guy driving this car, he's like, fucking go, you mother. Go, you mother.
He's flooring it.
He's absolutely got his pedal to the metal, and he's just like, fucking go. And reminder for cockpit, switch configuration, change local, vertical, local, horizontal. Oh, shit's hot. Shit is hot. Oh, okay. I'll do that. Looks like you've got a lot of wind up here today. This guy's like, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, it's a little hard to see out my window. He needed some spray or something, someone to give that a
one
real
of those squeegee guys.
Oh, yeah. Well,
next light,
Yeah. There's 10,000 feet in Mach 0.5. Yeah. 0.9, velocity of 0.9 Mach. That's Mach 1. How many times are we going to say that it's Mach 1?
They just like saying it, dude. It's like a pilot nerd shit, right?
Yeah. Going through 19,000. Altitude report, 19,000 feet. Normal SME thrust reduction, maximum dynamic pressure region. Throttling up. Throttle up to 104% after maximum dynamic pressure. Yep, throttling up, roger. Yeah, I'm driving this thing like a madman. He's like, feel that motor go. Yeah, feel that motor go. Like, yeah, I'm 35 feet going through 1.5. Altitude velocity report, 35,000 feet, 1.5 Mach. Yeah, routine airspeed. Yep, we've got that. I got that too. Roger, go at throttle up. And 104%. Uh-oh. Yeah, there was a big uh-oh.
That's it.
And then that was the end of it. Damn O-ring. So anyway, 33 years ago, and dude, I'm so embarrassed. I was like, I would have been, I swear to God, I thought I was like 7. And I was just like, I can remember the hallways in the school. No, I was much older than that.
Isn't that funny memory?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's not exactly like your mind's eye told you, but
no. And it's like, I'm not trying to lie to anybody. Why would I make that up?
Yeah.
I was in middle school, not fucking 3rd grade.
Not Brian Williamsing anyone.
Yeah, but it doesn't give credibility to the Brian Williams of the world, or some sexual assault victim. It's like,
yeah, where you just recreate this thing.
You don't remember the address of the party from 46 years ago, and you're like,
They do studies on human memory, and like even when we sit there and say like
moments later.
Yeah, like dude, you saw someone like come out of a room or out of a house thinking they were a burglar, and you're like, yep, they give a description of them, and it's like, it's
not even close.
Right.
There's a famous experiment that my criminal procedure professor pulled on the class one day.
Yeah.
Where we're all just gathering before class like any other day, and in ran this guy, and he grabbed a purse off the front desk and booked out the room and slammed the door. And then
did you guys all think this is real? This happened?
Like, what the fuck was that? And then the teacher comes in. He's like, all right, you guys all observed that. Now let me bring in a lineup of gentlemen. Let's see if you can pick out the person. And they pretty much looked similar, middle-aged guys and all that. But you're just like, shit, I think it was that. Like, I looked right at him, but
yeah. And so he's not masked or anything. It was just a guy ran in.
A guy, and they all then were wearing similar clothing, similar color top and bottoms. And you're just like, shit,
dude. Yeah.
Between 3 of them.
I was watching, I can't remember what it was. It might've been just a YouTube video, and a guy was doing that kind of experiment where it was like, he's meets a girl for like lunch or drinks or something at this bar, a little cafe outside kind of thing. And he's sitting there, and while they're talking, he's talking to her, blah, 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 and they're having a conversation. And then he just fucking gets up, grabs her purse, and runs. And the people are like, oh, fuck. Or he grabs someone else's purse on another chair and then runs. And so the other people that are there see this.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, they're like, oh, please. Car pulls up. It's him in a cop uniform. And he's like, so I'm here to take statements of what you guys saw. And they're like, he's
officer,
looking right at them.
What do you look like?
Well, he was wearing a yellow shirt, and none of them went, hey, man, that was you. None of them.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, there's probably been so many people that have rotted in jail being fingered for the wrong reasons,
Gross.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's that beautiful time of year when you have hockey, basketball, Super Bowl's right around the corner. So why don't you stop on by the Hamlin Pub to watch your favorite team and one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand-tossed pizzas, boneless wings, or the Nacho Supreme. Of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pubs locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township.
I was reading more on the Jackson documentary we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you think, because R. Kelly is running this, you're seeing more and more reports of people like banning his music from R&B stations, where it's like this station in Florida decides we will never play R. Kelly songs again, and other people that kind of shames them into, well, aren't you as good as Hot 97? Fuck, you're playing R. Kelly music? What's the matter with you? Do you think it could get to a point, if, especially in this Me Too era, that
Not with him dead, I don't think. I think you'd have to have like a Cosby type trial.
Yeah.
But with him dead, there's this mystery. There's this iconic. Oh man, people like you said yesterday. There's this whole group of people who just flatly refuse to believe it. It's all a conspiracy.
Hello? I was never there. I've never met any of the parties, but
right.
You saw the moonwalk, right? Yeah. That's all I need to know. So yeah, so there's more and more coming out, just little details about the movie and stuff, and that's kind of the takeaway question is, with this movement, just the way people are, the way we believe accusers more than we ever did before, and are letting that voice be heard, could this absolutely topple and destroy the legacy of the biggest pop star in the history of entertainment?
It'll continue to tarnish it. It has ever since these have come out, right?
Well,
I mean, there's been a lot of people who've been like,
I went to Spotify today and I downloaded Michael Jackson's music in case they
did the
take it away
reverse
from me. Yeah, in case they go, nope, you can't have this anymore.
That's funny.
You cannot listen to Billie Jean anymore because he tongued buttholes. All right? Well, you can't take it back. I have it. Sorry. So yeah, this James Safechuck, they say he just vividly remembers so many details, and it's like, yeah, but he is. And this code words for obscene acts that he remembers, the way Jackson
childish and everything. Do they give code words?
I don't see the code words. I bet we'll get them in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's like Jackson would surreptitiously scratch the inside of James's hand when he wanted sex. That's just so creepy a thought.
Did he have a coke nail too? I could see him having a coke nail.
Yeah, some long. He said the King of Pop would often retire to a secret closet in his bedroom. He would make him first drink pink wine and watch porn. Pink wine. We always heard Jesus juice. Jackson started to abuse him when he was 7 and stopped when he was 14. And he would hang a do not disturb sign on the door, and there was an alarm system. All kinds of chimes would go off if anyone got near the door. So yeah, and they say that these accusations made little headway because a judge dismissed this case, and that's what the Jackson family is hanging their hat on, is like, yeah, judge dismissed this whole, all the way, and so lawyers say that that's kind of misleading. The fact is, the reason that was dismissed is because criminal charges couldn't be brought at that point because the statute of limitations had gone. So nobody heard these in court. No judge or jury heard these accusations and said it's a technicality. And so it is what it is. So these guys got a minute-long standing ovation when that movie finished at the in Utah where it played. And the film, they say, is really difficult because it's coming out in March. June is the 10-year anniversary of Jackson's death, and the family has big plans for all kinds of merchandising,
re-releasing of sorts.
Yes, and so all kinds of lucrative opportunities. And the family's doing quite well since Jackson died. I mean, they made $75 million off his estate last year alone.
Shit.
Yeah. So
these kids who aren't even his kids. This Paris and Blanket and
Paris is in
Prince.
She's in rehab right now, so distraught over the film.
Is that right?
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Would people leave her the fuck alone so we can get the offspring of maybe one of the greatest entertainers ever to drop some music for once?
Right. She's got to be talented as fuck.
I mean, Blanket, Paris, and what's the other one?
Prince.
Prince
Michael?
Yeah. Prince Michael, or is Prince Michael Blanket?
Your Majesty?
No, Your Majesty and...
No, it's Jermaine, right?
Jermaine's kids, Your Majesty and Jermichael.
God damn it.
I believe he's got Paris, Prince Michael, and Michael Joseph Jackson Jr. Which one is
Blanket?
Blanket.
Michael Jackson Joseph Jr. or whatever.
He named his kid after his fucking dad.
I know. The guy beat his ass, allegedly.
Look up Jermaine Jackson's kids' names, because it is like Jermaine, Your Majesty, Giraffe. So they say this guy that made this documentary, we talked a little bit about him. He's a British director. His name's Dan Reed, and he won a BAFTA for a film he did about online pedophile hunters. So this is something, and he knew.
This is his passion.
Yeah, he's really into pedophile hunting. He's kind of the
Chris Hansen.
He's the movie making version of Chris Hansen, sure. So he said they say he went to considerable lengths to be able to really cement and document with facts and stuff these kids' stories, so that it didn't get blown off and people can go, it's bullshit. So yeah, he pointed out, let's see here, the dynamics of sexual abuse. The public is much more educated nowadays. Stuff like, why didn't you come forward years ago? Like that shit just isn't gonna fly.
Doesn't fly.
No. And it also addresses the puzzling question of why the boys' parents allowed Jackson such access to them. And I don't care how much grooming is involved, dude. Some weird fucking moonwalking into your house dude going, I just want to take Jake, or I just want to take Russell for the weekend. He's gonna go on tour with me. Be like,
no.
How about no? Okay, what about Manny? He's got about a year left in him before those gross cootie pubes start sprouting. No.
Go away, you little weirdo.
Yeah, beat it, you. Beat it. So the mom, Stephanie, Safe Chuck's mom, Stephanie, admits it's hard for others to understand how manipulative Jackson was and how skilled at separating children from their parents he was. And then she's like, I fucked up. It's like, yeah, you did, Steph. Jay Robson, Wade's mother, believes Jackson was suffering from a sickness and blames, people in his world that couldn't talk to him. But, that's easier said than done. And his dad committed suicide. In large part, the family believes because
he failed to protect them.
Failed to protect his son, yeah. Also, Jordy Chandler's dad committed suicide too.
Wow.
Yeah. Safe Chuck was 9, chosen by Jackson to be in a Pepsi commercial in '87. He starts visiting the boys' California home, staying the night, then invited him and his family to his own house. This is the beginning of many visits, either alone or with his parents, in which Jackson plied him with presents, including cash. Sometimes he would spend the night sharing Jackson's bedroom or camping with him in a tent in the living room. His parents knew and allowed it. What? When Jackson went on his bad tour. Oh, so the family flew the Safe Chuck family on first-class luxury hotel trips to Hawaii, New York, London to accompany him on business trips. Jackson's going to business trips. he would pile on the flattery. In an audio recording, Safe Chuck asked him, what's the best thing about Hawaii? Being with you. Being with you is the best. He's like 40. This kid's 9. When Jackson went on his bad tour in '88, Safe Chuck joined him for 6 months. He appeared on stage, mimicking his dance moves. They were the abuse started when they went to Paris, which is probably why he named his daughter Paris. Probably got really fond memories of Paris. This time he's 10. So they were sharing Jackson's room at the Hotel des Crayons when they engaged in the first of hundreds of sex acts, which escalated over the next 7 years. On tour at Safe Chuck's home, Jackson's homes, including Neverland, a fabulous child's playground that had its own zoo, carnival, and cinema.
Don't overstate things with carnival. We've been over this before, but it was just a bunch of round and round rides.
I know it was. Was there no roller coaster?
No, to the extent there was, it was just very simple and round and round.
Yeah, but that's all he really needed. When you're talking about 7-year-olds, you got a cotton candy machine.
Yeah,
you
chimp.
Someone's got the ice cream truck they're pushing around. A chimp, a zoo, a cinema.
You're right.
I mean,
right.
Yes, was it a
I just don't like
version?
I don't like to overstate this. This carnival atmosphere of Neverland.
Yeah,
shitty rides.
Yeah,
shitty rides.
They didn't.
Those are shitty
shit rides, dude.
Yeah,
you got a carousel.
But that's a carnival. A carnival is that.
No.
Yes.
Dude, show me where the fucking thing is where you take the giant hammer and slam the bell down and it goes and it.
No, he's got one of those goddamn pirate ships that goes back and forth and makes you want to barf.
Yeah,
he's got a merry-go-round that makes you want to barf, and then he's got a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Most people
I thought he did have a little tiny roller coaster, but
but it's shit.
Yeah, it's like the little Wildcat thing at Cedar Point.
Yeah,
half
Give me a
that.
break.
That's lame.
I don't even like those rides, but to say that's not a carnival-esque
that is not a carnival-esque.
Yes, it is.
It is not a carnival. You're wrong.
It is.
Mike points out, don't have the big sledgehammer thing.
Yeah, I don't see anyone throwing darts at balloons.
Dude, throwing rings around bottles?
Where is the baseballs against the dolls?
Look at this.
Knock those over.
Where is it?
This is
Skee ball, anybody?
100%
Anyone see
a
skee ball?
carnival.
Anywhere.
That's ridiculous.
Where's the guy going? Step right up. Hurry,
Yeah.
hurry. I'll get you waiting.
Where's the yak woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's in his backyard. This isn't a full-on. They don't say it's a full-on carnival. They say it's a carnival like
See,
atmosphere.
look, there's his little fucking roller coaster
Yeah.
thing.
That is
Dude,
look
that's
at
a
that
cost.
hunk of shit.
This
$4
is
grand.
the definition
$4
of a
grand.
carnival.
What's in the top
not a
too? Is this
fair.
That's the
Carnival.
That's the merry-go-round, but it's got sides
Wrapped
on
up.
it,
Yeah. And this thing sucks
Oh,
too. This is for toddlers.
balls.
It's a little giant ball you sit in, and it goes
That's
round
what
and
it's
round in a circle.
for.
Round and round we go.
It's for 7-year-olds.
Oh man, that
7
ride
and
was fun. What are we gonna
8-year-olds.
do next? Oh,
Go
we're gonna go
round and round
we're gonna
again.
go over 50 feet over here, and we're gonna go on this thing that goes
Yeah.
round
Mike
and
is
round
such
and
a
round.
Where's the
liar.
Matterhorn?
Fuck you. Jay's the one saying it, not me. Jay's way more into this than me.
I spearheaded this argument.
I
Yeah,
know, but
and I
Mike's sitting
stand
here
by it.
on board with you.
Good for him, because he's right.
I
he's
listened to
not.
both arguments, dude, and I sided with one. Why am I the fucking asshole?
Because I
This
think that
notion.
you're more than anybody who sits there and talks about being a hot 7-year-old. You cannot say that at 7 years old you would not enjoy this. I don't believe it. We're not talking about 15-year-olds.
If I walked into that and they went, what do you want to ride first? I'd go pass.
Right.
And I'd walk
Where's
out.
the Gemini?
Pass.
I don't believe it.
Where's
Dude,
the corkscrew?
Where's the blue streak, motherfucker? I thought this was a
You
carnival.
weren't
like
riding
rides.
the blue streak at 7.
Hell yeah, I was. Yes.
Okay.
You weren't tall enough.
Neither of you were. You're both wrong. Absurdly wrong.
That carnival sucks.
I'd be like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna go grab some of that Jesus juice you were talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe catch a flick down in the cinema, but this is for babies, man.
Yeah.
That roller coaster, shit.
Yeah, it was for babies.
Dude, that's like the train in Silver Spoons in the opening credits.
Yeah, if you wanna feed me some Jesus juice and stroke my penis to completion, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
don't call that a carnival and throw
Guys
me
are
on a
so
round and round ride, okay?
Wrong,
And
both
if
of
I
you.
did go on the carousel there, every time I passed Jackson with his gleeful stare, looking at me, be like, don't think for a second I'm going to be blowing you because of this. This is not what is making me going to blow you later.
That is
For the record, it's the Jesus juice, the Billie Jean, and the moonwalk. It has nothing to do with these lame fucking rides. Let's make that clear.
Well put.
It's
Bubbles, maybe, but this, no.
Bubbles is impressive. To have a chimp on the grounds, I mean, come on.
So, so the sex became a normal part of the relationship. Jackson would call these encounters showing love, selling me some, rewarding the boy with gifts and jewelry. He had a secret closet. And then they'd wake up in the morning, and then they'd go over to the guest room, and they'd rustle up sheets on the bed together
Sure.
to make it look like he was sleeping in there. He was in the other room. Jackson installed chimes outside his bedroom. He would regularly instruct the boy. They would play these games like, I'm going to teach you how to dress really fast and
Yeah.
get out of the room. That's a fun game. I remember my parents teaching me that game too.
Emergency drill.
Yeah. He was doing fire drills with how to get dressed quick and get the fuck out of sight. He brainwashed and drilled into me that what he was doing was it's just love, and that I should deny that anyone has ever done anything to either of us.
Hundreds of sex acts with this guy.
Mm.
God.
Safe Chuck, that unlucky son of a bitch, he dips into puberty early, 12.
Mm.
As soon as Jackson saw boing, the first fucking, he went into the bathroom and saw a fucking pube on the toilet seat and was just like, oh God, Safe Chuck, get in here.
Grass on the infield.
Yeah. Time to not play ball. So, when he hit puberty at 12, Jackson immediately switched his attention, and all of a sudden, I had to sleep on the sofa.
That's crazy. God.
So Jackson wasn't just like,
Guy.
oh, you got a pube. I can't just kick him out on the street. Just sleep on the couch, you weirdo. Get out of here. And then all of a sudden, here comes Wade Robson. Ooh, my new friend. And so he's a child dance prodigy. He danced in the Bad Tour.
So the two overlap. They know each
Yeah.
other. They remember each other. Yeah.
The abuse starts immediately. He looks at Jackson. He's a 9-year-old dance prodigy from Australia. He looks at Jackson as a god, a father figure. You know, why wouldn't you? It's his hero, you know? I mean, there's probably no bigger dancer on the planet at that point than Jackson. So his first visit to Neverland with his family, 1990, he slept in Jackson's bed. When Jackson offered to mentor him, his family was like, oh, hell yeah, let's move to California.
Absolutely.
So every time we were together, it happened. It started with them fondling, then moved on to kissing, and then it moved on to oral sex. Again, Jackson, his interest waned as soon as that day came when Wade got a little too advanced, you know, at the trial. Robson, then 22, was a successful choreographer and dancer. And so he says, that's why I denied ever being with him. I thought it would fuck my career up. And I thought also that if this came out, he feared Jackson would be killed in jail.
Now I got you.
Talking about raping kids. Many wonder if the outcry is, going to have any blah, blah, blah in the Me Too era. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But
Oh, Wayne, you got to think about other victims in that circumstance,
yeah,
Put a
Wade.
stop to it.
Yeah, Wade was thinking
Wade,
about-
sorry, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wade, whatever.
He'd probably rather you fucking thought him as Wayne anyways. Like, that's fine. The more people fuck up my name, the better. You think it's fun and comfortable for me to talk about being on all fours and having the king of pop tongue flicking my asshole? No, it's not. Call me Wayne, thank you.
Speaking of food, Mike, Hamlin Pub recently rolled out a new menu, as you know. Try their new culinary creations, which include Southwest Cobb salad, candied Brussels sprouts, Korean steak tacos, chicken share, or the big brisket sandwich. Or you could start your day with an award-winning backyard Mary Bloody Mary. And of course, you can get all of these fine foods at all 5 Hamlin Pubs locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township.
You know what I love about the Hamlin Pubs and the Twin Peaks of the world?
What do you love, Mike?
It's a hang, you and your boys, you and your girls, whatever. Because Jay, making your way in the world today. I mean, it literally takes everything you got, And so wouldn't you like to get away, and sometimes you just want to go where everyone knows your name, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
So anyway, those are good places to hang and do that stuff. So anyway, we should take a quick break.
Sure.
And then SAG Awards last night.
Dude, I saw that. I'm like, I heard nothing about this.
Geoffrey Owens is back, my man.
Geoffrey Owens,
with a
remind
G.
me.
He's the one that was caught, that the customers were like, oh my God, that guy from the Cosby Show is working at Trader Joe's.
Oh, right.
He is an absolute hero now.
Is that right?
In the Hollywood community. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get into his appearance and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Back to the show. A little mishap over here. We're apparently 12 seconds into the show now, Jay. Hey, I don't know. When you got home, did you watch any of the Pro Bowl yesterday?
No.
NFC,
It was
AFC.
like early, dude.
Yeah, it was going on during the show.
Yeah. It was like a 3:30 start or something.
No, I have no idea how that all played out.
What is the point to that game, dude? Honest to God,
Nobody wants to get hurt.
It's hilarious. I caught the very end of the game, and it is not even two-hand touch. Guys are running at 1/4 speed. Why are we even wearing equipment out there?
Yeah.
Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, they should just boil it down to a skills type competition.
Totally. It's fine.
Invite the guys out for, some sort of event.
Show what they can do, how skilled these guys are, but having this joke of a thing. Deion Sanders even tweeted out, "I'm sorry, but this Pro Bowl has turned into a walkthrough, and it's ridiculous. If you ain't going to compete, what are you doing it for? The check? When did it become what it is now? Help me understand a team full of great players not wanting to see who's the best. #truth." I agree with him. And
help you understand? Okay. Dollars involved.
Yeah.
Injuries. The risk.
Yeah. AFC players got $67,000 each for the victory, 8,000 more than the guys who lose the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Pro Bowl losers get $39,000 each. But I'm watching, just going, this is so stupid. Like, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. But I guess they want build up going into the big week. I mean, today's breaking news story is all over. Is Tom Brady's not going to quit? Someone ESPN reporter is like, "Tom, what are the odds, or is there any chance that you could win the Super Bowl and that's the last game you'll play?" And he's like, "0 chance." I want to hear the words coming out of your mouth, because he just did 0, and he's like, "Yeah, 0." And it's like, dude, everybody who's listened to Tom Brady over the last 10 years is like, he wants to play till he's 45. That's the goal. He's 41 now. Like, why is this a story? It's like breaking news on, like, Good Morning America. "Well, Tom Brady has announced it's a 0 possibility." It's like, yeah, he's been saying that for years. Not news. Not news. Black Panther took home a big award yesterday from the SAG people.
Black Panther is up for Best Picture Academy Awards.
Have they even ever had like a superhero
No, I don't
movie?
think so, man. Nothing close.
I don't think so either. And so all of a sudden, this movie is like the greatest thing that's ever happened to cinema. So Lady Gaga was snubbed again.
Oh, Gaga.
Yep.
I love the Gaga.
I know you do. A Star Is Born went home absolutely empty-handed. Which,
hold on, gentlemen. I have a welfare check. Juan is out shoveling.
Get out of here.
Neighbor Juan is shoveling his driveway.
Wow.
He's alone, though. He's solo. So we're still wondering where the family members went.
Yeah.
Wow.
You mean the 8 people that were with him
Yeah.
every night when he was out there with floodlights on, raking leaves?
Yeah. They're gone.
As they fall from the trees. They were like catching them in bags.
Yeah. But listeners should know Juan appears safe
All right.
able. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now that was breaking news and worth it, I think.
That was. We actually thought about doing a welfare check on our boy Juan over there. So yeah, this is good news. So the Black Panthers leading man, Chadwick Boseman, took the lead as they got up on stage to accept their trophies for outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. Is it different than Best Picture? Or is that outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture? So he gave a stirring speech about being given the chance to create a world that exemplified a world that we wanted to see.
Did he mention his craft? Because that's what I recall of the SAG Awards. Everybody goes into, this is just an honor to be involved with others in my craft.
Yeah.
Craft is the big phrase.
Craft is big. Actor. Calling women actors is apparently very classy.
Yeah,
to do,
that's the thing.
Yeah. Thespians. They really are thespians, but their craft, being able to do this. So yeah, he says the odds were stacked against him to be. Imagine going on the stage and saying this: to be young, gifted, and black. We all know what it's like to be told that there's not a place for you to be featured, yet you are young, gifted, and black. We know what it's like to be told to say there's not a screen for you to be featured on, a stage for you to be featured on. We know what it's like to be the tail and not the head. We know what it's like to be beneath and not above. And that is what we went to work with every day, because we knew not that we would be around during award season or that it would make $1 billion. We knew we had something special that we wanted to give the world. that we could be full human beings in the roles we were playing. This is something that I wish all actors would get the opportunity to experience. If you get that experience, you will be a fulfilled artist. You know, that's basically saying, like talented, young, and black and gifted, is not enough. Look, listen. Isn't it just the reality that their job as Hollywood, what Hollywood was, we have all known what a shallow fucking industry it is. Oh my God, she's got a zit. Fucking kick her out of here.
Shallow's a good word, yeah.
Yeah, very, very shallow. So I don't know that it's so much racist. Maybe it is in part, but I would say it's more about what percentages of the population include this, people that look like this versus people that look like this. Can we make more money by casting something that will draw this many more people into the theaters? We make all this much more money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because if you're just doing great cinema that everyone wants to be a part of, they don't give a shit what color you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We've seen that. It's like, well, her nose is too big. I had to get a nose job for that role. I had to lose 5 pounds.
I harken back to the Bradley Cooper role in The Mule, Mike, as I've done before.
Yeah.
Could have been a black guy. Should have been a black guy.
Absolutely.
Should have been a black fidget in a wheelchair.
Could have been any
Chaired
of
up
those.
proper.
Chaired up proper, yes. Could have even got a legit one of those, not even a fake one to play it.
I don't know that could have been a wheelchaired up proper role.
Why not?
Why not?
Don't push back on this.
Dude, how
I just no everything else
Do
you
you
said.
hate diversity?
No,
Yeah.
everything else you said was fine, but a wheelchaired up proper.
Dude,
Like-
how fucking tits would it be if you saw that FBI van come screeching to a
Yeah.
halt, the doors fly open and a ramp comes down, and some
Yes.
mustachioed midget with dark glasses
Yes.
and a cop outfit
Yes.
comes wheeling down. It's
Mirrored shades.
like mirrored shades, and he comes screeching up
See,
with his
here's-
wheelchair.
here's a
Dude,
problem.
that's so inclusive.
Here's the problem. You described it like that. The scene I would see more is the van high action and then the doors slowly opening and then
Slowly lifting down.
He
Slow down.
lowered
Slow down.
It's Hollywood.
Stop.
We could speed this
Police.
shit up.
Yeah, we could speed it up. I mean,
Okay,
dude,
fine.
It's all kinds of weapons that don't exist in their worlds.
Okay, that's
So-
fine. You're right. Okay, it could have been anybody. I agree.
And that would not have, there's not one person to be like, I would have seen it if Bradley Cooper was in it, but I wasn't buying the mustachioed midget cop, dude. I just wasn't, who was shared up proper. I just didn't buy it, So anyway, outstanding performance by a male actor, Rami Malek or whatever from Bohemian Rhapsody. No shock there. I was glad about this. Glenn Close won again for the wife. She's the one that keeps kicking Gaga's ass.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Cast won. We got Black Panther. Performance by a female, Patricia Arquette for Escape at Dannemore.
Okay.
And then performance by a male actor in a drama series, Jason Bateman from Ozark won.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool to see, and his speech was pretty good too.
You love you some Jason Bateman.
I do.
I would
Jason
like to
Bateman
see
a lot.
Jason Bateman give a speech. To be honest, I'd be
Yeah.
interested to see how he.
You guys, man.
I just hope he wouldn't be a douchebag. I would hope he'd be.
Mike, would you bang Jason Bateman?
No, I wouldn't
Yeah,
bang
Mike,
Jason Bateman.
Jesus.
I fell in
I don't
love
like
with
him
his
that
with his
much.
acting style and his pure comedy chops on
Going
Silver
back
Spoons.
to Silver Spoons.
Silver
yeah,
Spoons,
and then
man.
Valerie. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'd disappear for a few years, and then boom, he'd pop up in this, and just good shit. So Patricia Arquette, she had to take the moment. She's the one you're going to see in all the clips. She thanks Ben Stiller, who did the whole Showtime thing, the horse cock or whatever. They escaped from Dannemore prison. Benicio del Toro and Paul Dano. She added, "Thank you, Robert Mueller, and everyone working to make sure that we have sovereignty for the United States of America." And yes, she called him Robert Mueller. It's like, fuckface. If you're gonna go blow Robert Mueller on stage, at least know what his fucking name is. Robert Mueller.
Who's Robert Mueller?
I have been confused this whole time why it's Mueller
Well,
or why it's Mueller and not Mueller.
Yeah. When we first learned him, you already knew him, and I kept doing that, going, yeah, Bob Mueller, and you're like, Mueller. Bob Mueller. It took a while to train me,
But
but
she should know if she's about to get
Arquette
up and
should know.
Yeah, for somebody who saved the sovereignty of the country. In her
right.
words.
And Robert Mueller, they was like, Mueller. I wanted
Yeah.
someone to go, hey, asswipe, you should probably know his name if you're gonna blow him, Mueller.
Well, it's a decent sign for diversity and so forth when you have gross actresses, or should I say actors, winning these awards, right? Glenn Close, Meryl Streep, and Patricia Arquette are just gross.
Gross.
So
yeah.
that must suggest that they did some really good work.
But even by Hollywood standards, Patricia Arquette is almost too hot to play the pig she
Did you
was
see
portraying
her though?
in Dannemore.
She portrayed that pig pretty well. Easy,
Did she?
pull it up.
What's it from?
Escape at Dannemore.
Yeah, they grossed her up pretty good.
Did they gross her up proper?
They did.
Kind of like what's her name in the was it Monster?
Yes.
Fuck.
Charlize Theron.
Yes, and she's gorgeous.
It was gross.
Yeah, here we go, I guess.
See, they grossed her up proper.
Yeah.
I mean, in this one, well, here.
I guess I can still see too much Arquette in there.
Well,
Really,
look
you
at this
find
one.
that attractive? In
No, I don't at all. But
look at this one.
She's not fat enough though.
those
Wasn't that pig? Wasn't she just a pig, like a butterball?
Yeah.
Hmm.
They tried their best.
Jason Bateman for Ozark. Here was his speech, which is, you expect that it's going to be like, Trump sucks or whatever, but I thought it was pretty cool. I know there's a lot of our fellow union members that are not here or not working as frequently as they might want to, and that was certainly the case for me for a long time. And you wonder if you got it. You wonder if you're any good, because what we're doing is we're just liars up here, and we're wondering if people are buying it. Everybody is just a job away. For me, it was Arrested Development. I'm very, very grateful to that show. I just want to say to the people at home and not working as frequently as they want, you're just one job away. You're plenty talented. Hang in there. It's kind of cool. Different.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason's going to be cynical.
You guys are so Jason Bateman blowers.
No, I'm not Jason
Mike,
Bateman blowers.
If that was anyone else, you would not have read that.
I would have
Yes,
loved
I
it.
would.
You would not have read that.
I thought that was a unique thing to
that.
say.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of going up there going, I want to thank John Stevens,
You guys would have
our best boy in our career.
Step back. Don't no way me. Mike,
You're
there's no
100% wrong.
fucking way. If that's Ben Affleck, you read that.
Yes,
Come
he
on,
would.
man.
Mike likes Mike is like me, that he likes stories of artists thinking back and looking back and thinking their.
You would not have read a paragraph from fucking Ben Affleck or from Matt Damon.
All right.
Be honest with me.
If I'm honest with you, I would have read it from Matt Damon. I would not have read it from Ben Affleck. I would not have read it from Tom Cruise. I would not have read it from a lot of people.
So you're wanting to blow Jason Bateman plays a role in that.
That's
I think that's not what it is.
It's the substance of the read, E.
No,
You said he
not.
wouldn't have read it if it was Ben Affleck.
No, that's not the point.
Let me explain what I mean, E, not you. I don't need you to
let
explain
Mike
it.
explain his point, E.
I think there are fraudulent, fucking fake people all over Hollywood. And I think they make a lot of statements. They get on pedestals and soapboxes
and you
for
feel like
themselves.
You know Jason Bateman.
No, I don't. But I feel like there's certain players in Hollywood where it's like, that guy just time after time comes off as believable, as honest, as truthful when he's speaking. And so when you see guys like Tom Cruise or Travolta, it's like you just get this fucking weird, this is bullshit, self-serving speech, blah, blah, blah. Bateman's, I thought, that's what I would expect Jason Bateman to do. Not talk about the fucking producer or the director that no one's ever heard of for 10 minutes and blather on.
And you would have read it from Damon, you said.
I think I would
Damon.
from Damon.
You're really getting caught on that to me. That's where I get mad about it.
I think I would from Damon. Yeah,
But he's the guy who apologized for coming out on Me Too, Mike. I thought these had to be guys you respected.
This is a borderline. That's a tough one, man. I'll have to think.
He was Jason Bourne.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Because I have so much mad respect for his first thing.
I would just simply caution both you gentlemen. You don't know who the fuck these guys are.
But that's not at all why I like the statement. Personally, for me, I don't read any of these fucking statements. But if Mike had read that and not told me who it was, if he'd given any actor and said, "Hey, this is the actor. This was their speech," I'd be like, "Damn, that's actually fucking cool. That's a legit speech."
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck that it was Jason Bateman.
Why are you so cynical and don't believe what I'm saying right now?
I just think you love some Jason Bateman.
I like Jason Bateman a lot. I think he's a quality actor.
Again, I stand by. I don't think you read that paragraph unless it's Jason.
But see, the
Bateman.
point to me, that's not even the point of it at this point. The point is the message was a really good message, and who cares who said it?
And I've seen Jason Bateman. In
My point is, E, that it wasn't a good enough message that he would have read it if it wasn't from Jason Bateman.
Okay,
no,
so
I wouldn't have believed it if it was someone else. I've seen enough interviews with Jason Bateman.
And you believe you know him
time and time again to just be like a likable dude. In interviews, he comes off as likable and real.
Yeah,
that's what he does. And so it's like, yeah, dude, I believe he means that statement, and I believe he's talking to people in the industry, and he's not forgetting where he came from. And it's like, dude, I was fucking there too.
Got it. You'd bang Jason Bateman.
I would not. That's not what I'm saying at all. And I think it's bullshit to say you wouldn't have read it as Tom Cruise. Well, no shit.
You wouldn't
Tom
have
Cruise
read
is a fucking weirdo.
Anybody other than Jason Bateman.
Not true. I just gave you a bunch of
time and time again. You reference your love for Jason Bateman.
I'm trying to think what other actors I would read that from. Who do I like?
I don't know.
That's the point, man. You love Jason Bateman.
It's not
That's
love,
the
dude,
point.
and I don't want to bang Jason Bateman.
Things can
That's
have
absurd.
2 points, and then it can be equaled out by the message. Again.
Well put.
No, I think it was well put, but
Geoffrey Owens. Absolute.
with a G, so you can't trust
Yeah.
anything he says.
Right, exactly. It was weird. He's sitting at his table. They didn't even like give him the podium
What?
to give a speech. He's like
Are you serious?
sitting at those awkward round tables in a tuxedo,
What
and he
was
just
his
starts
name?
talking, but he's like
Jeff-
mic'd up.
What?
Yeah, they were doing something.
They trying to speed the show along?
I know.
I
Like
don't-
the pass around or
So they had a segment like one of those that appears on screen behind them. Like they're gonna play a couple-minute clip of who died this year or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this one, instead of the in memoriam or whatever, which they might have done, I don't know, but it was I'm an actor was the opener. So the show starts, and they've got this screen up, I guess, playing a thing, and he was part of that. He followed Mike Myers. So, and I guess you just tell your story about why you're there and blah blah blah, and I'm an actor, and so he's on there, and he gets a huge ovation because he works at Trader Joe's and he was shamed.
Yeah.
So he then explained how well he's doing now. I mean, that fucking picture, game changer. He was living in his car, dude, before that.
Wow, man.
He was living in his car, and
Jesus, bring up a picture of
broke.
him just so people know who we're talking about.
he was Denise's boyfriend, husband, or no, not Denise's, the older one.
Well, here's the
Sandra.
one at Trader
Sandra.
Joe's.
Sandra's husband on the Cosby Show.
Yeah, and he was the foil for Cosby would just rip on him.
Yeah,
The dumb son-in-law kind of thing.
right. And he did kind of ham that up as the dumb, clueless idiot.
He was a lovable character.
There he is on
Because he's sort of
He's
just
fine.
goofy, walked into shit,
Was he any better than Cockroach?
Yeah, he was better than Cockroach.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Cockroach didn't get to spread his wings as much as I would have liked on that show. If you think of the opportunity that Boner was given, for instance, on Growing Pains,
Great opportunity.
you know what I mean? Like, he was able to spread his wings.
Can we talk about that for a second? How the fuck was that kid named Boner on
Yeah,
network
that's
TV?
great.
Like, Boner meant boner when
Yeah.
that kid was named Boner on that show.
And they always addressed it. It wasn't like, hey, kid. It was like, yeah, Boner.
Yeah, how did they pull that
I
off?
just wanted to slip Boner jokes in.
Totally, that's what
To
I
that
don't even
show.
know the situation. What show was that on? I don't even know.
Growing Pains.
Oh, really?
With Alan Thicke,
Absolutely.
Mike Seaver, and
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron. Yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he was the kid on there.
Yeah, he came in as the what was the kid on Brady Bunch that came in to save the show?
Right.
The redheaded kid. He was that.
He wasn't redheaded.
I think he was.
No, he had
Arnold,
blonde hair.
whatever his name.
Yeah, there's Boner.
That's Bone Job. Yeah.
What
look
was
at
it? What was
Boner.
it, like Alex Bonowski or something? They called him Boner.
Yeah,
Something
dude.
like that.
Bonowski or something. You're absolutely right.
But Boner meant boner, and that's what kills me. They got away with that shit.
Would your dad, if he saw you watching that and they were like, hey, Boner's coming over, would he be like, Jay, I'm going to need you to shut this off?
No, but I don't know how they pulled that off.
So anyway, going back to Geoffrey with a G, Owens, he says he explained how well he's doing now after the supermarket customer shared that picture of him working at the register. So somewhere in the middle of the road of my life, I found myself in the dark wood of unemployment and debt. Instead of switching careers like a sane person, I took a job at a local Trader Joe's, see if I could hang in there with my career. And it's actually worked out pretty well. Because of the viral picture, not because of your acting skills, sorry. I'm Geoffrey Owens, and I'm an actor. 2019 is looking very good for Geoffrey. Owens will return to TV with Tyler Perry's hit drama The Haves and Have-Nots. He's going to play a senator after Perry took notice and immediately wrote a role for him with 11 episodes just for him.
My gosh.
He told GMA last year he was sleeping in his car, struggling, wondering how was I going to pay the bills. Sometimes things just don't work out, and that's okay. That's all right. But you do have to do in between and get to the point until it gets there. Nicki Minaj gave him $25,000, and he donated that to charity. He's this year he's got parts in Billions, on Becoming a God in Central Florida, Plus B, Impossible Monsters, Fatale and Fizzle. These are all things that are in production with him.
Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, it is funny how he's apparently failing to see that what actually got him to this next step is the viral picture. But I do give him credit for just going to work, right? Just go.
I know.
Go do the job. Don't try to hang on like all these other child actors and shit and end up getting so mixed up. And
would you count him as a child actor, though?
no, he wasn't. But I'm just saying that goes down the line of, you know, you look at any number of those guys who just want to hang on to that prior career is my point. Like, yeah, you were that 25 years ago. Now move on and make ends meet.
People think that you're on the Cosby Show for 4 or 5 seasons in limited role that all of a sudden
set for life.
You're set for life. You're making huge money, or you're getting back end money, residuals coming in. You're just getting mailbox money landing in your mailbox each month. No.
Not in that role.
No. One guy did. The guy that was drugging and raping all the women, he got boatloads of money.
Lots of justice in this world.
Yeah. I would say the actual family that you saw week to week got paid a lot.
Right.
Cosby took 90%. The rest of them split 10. And then, there was, a few bones here and there doled out for the
cockroaches,
Sandras of the world. Yeah. Really quick before we get to email, I only have this because I know how much you like watching people fall down.
I do. It's one of my favorite things.
I know you're also a visual learner, Jay, and so I got this video here, and this one warms my heart because it's like, I don't know what this is, like a fame school or something, and it's like you can see that douchey guy on the stage, all flamboyant, and he's so into what he's doing.
Like contemporary dance.
Well, I don't know what he's doing a dance from let's see, a Fortnite, the Fortnite game. It's called Shoot Dance.
Okay.
And some rapper did it, and so Braden Wolf is the guy filming this. He's preparing for an event at the University of Oklahoma, and he sees his friend Jacob. They don't give his last name, but he sees his friend Jacob and his passionate moves and his hair flopping all over, so he starts filming him. There we go.
Here goes Jake. Oh no! Shit! Fell right off the stage.
He's just
Here he goes. Here he goes. Whoop! Oh, that feeling.
You can
just gravity.
Because he knows he is the shit on stage right now. Where can you isolate the moment?
How can you not realize, dude? You're moving toward the edge of a stage.
Right there. Look closely.
Look at the hand.
You can see right there the shame that's coming over him, where he thought he was the cat's ass 0.4 seconds before this.
Man, I wish we had like 5 seconds before this started to see where he actually started his dance, because it seems drastically close to the edge of the stage.
He's in mid dance there. See him?
Yeah.
His leg up. I mean, he is. Which, anyone falling off a stage, you got to give it the respect and show Kelsey Grammer really quick. Obviously, you cannot. It's just the smugness, the way he's holding his hand.
Yeah,
my lord,
as he's walking.
One hand in his pocket.
World. It's a small world, or whatever fucking thing he's talking about.
Trip through It's a Small World, pretending I was a UN interpreter.
Good lord.
Pretending I was a UN ambassador.
God, look at the cutout of that stage. Ouch, man.
I think wow,
wow, the shame. Yeah, back that up, and it's
trip through It's a Small World.
It's the glasses,
sure it is.
The kerchief coming out of the pocket.
Smug as fuck. Look at him.
The hand in the pocket, and the way he's holding the hand.
Yes.
These people are hearing me right now.
I'm kicking some knowledge, some major knowledge.
I don't need a podium. I don't need a script or a teleprompter. I'm just going to go off, I'm going to go riff it for these young minds. They deserve this. And it's at a small world, coming off as a U.S. ambassador and then just fucking shame.
Trip through It's a Small World, pretending I was a UN interpreter.
That's the best.
I think
I don't know. The good lord is pretty damn good too. Good lord.
Back it up. Oh, good lord. Yeah.
Did you just see on his face too, like, who is to blame for this?
World, pretending I was the UN interpreter.
Who failed to build me a limitless stage?
Right, you're right.
It's the it's that exhale and breath in where it's like the air of smugness has flown.
That is a weird stage.
Yeah, it's like a cutout, like a puzzle or something, sort of.
Yeah, it's for an orchestra pit.
Yeah.
But he was so into what he was saying. He was changing minds right there. He was influencing.
Checking his Achilles. It's like, yeah, my hip.
He said sorry
that's
for
the
my
thing,
language.
dude.
He said sorry for my language. Oh, good lord.
You would, dude. You'd hit something on the way down, like you'd probably rock the fuck out of your back, right?
Yeah, or you'd get that
Just
weird
the compression of your back.
That
not
weird,
expecting it.
What is that spot between your Charlie horse and your hip on the side where you fucking fall down and hit that thing, and it really smarts one last time, and pay attention to the.
Yeah, and then the apology apparently for his language.
Yeah.
Trip through It's a Small World, pretending I was a UN interpreter. I think I'm. Wow, that's really, really bad.
So sorry for my language.
Yes, he apologizes for his language. You know what's interesting too is, don't you think your go-to move would be to start to laugh at yourself in some way? At least have a crack a smile. Yeah, you'd be embarrassed as fuck, but at least like, he was just pissed.
Honestly, the air of arrogance in that man, the smugness, it makes it impossible to laugh at thyself.
Yeah.
He could laugh at others. He'd probably be pointing fingers and hysterically laughing if it was you that fell off the stage.
He was literally, you could see the gears turning. Who is to blame for this?
Yes, he knew heads
not
were
me.
gonna roll.
It's not me.
Yes. And he, when he gets up there and as soon as he says, sorry about my language. Has anyone seen my air of smugness? It flew right out of me as I was falling down the stage there. If anyone sees it, grab it, bring it back to me. Oh, okay.
Kelsey.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some ease mazel.
Yeah, we will. Before we do that, our good friends at Zotford and Holly are excited to offer their interest rate amnesty program for a short time. If the interest rate or payment on your current vehicle is too high, Zotford will help you solve that problem. The process is easy. Hop in your current Turdmobile, head to Zotford and Holly, pick a shiny new or pre-owned whip, choose your new payment option, and start enjoying your fresh new ride today. Bottom line is that Zotford wants to lower your payment. All right,
good.
Now, if you want to email into the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. Before we get to that, Mike, we received post.
For the love of
we received post, Mike, and it's from San Francisco.
Oh, I love San Francisco.
This is an aerial photograph capturing the city in late afternoon.
To San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair.
This is addressed specifically to Big E, thinking of you, the San Francisco Jacks. Is it possible? Is it possible? Wish you were here, Big E. Could it be from the great Jerry himself? It does look like his writing, doesn't it?
This is 100% from the fucking Jacks. Wish you were here, Big E. Big E, thinking of you, heart, the San Francisco Jacks. That's frameable, E.
I agree.
If you'd like to post into the show, send it to P.O. Box 250-268 Franklin, Michigan, 48025. Now, on to email. Sir Nuts writes in. A while back, Big E said he thought a one-piece bathing suit is more sexy than a two-piece.
At times.
This is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
The only way this could be true is A, you prefer fat chicks. B, you're a fag for Speedos. Which is it?
Or he's a big fan of beaches in the 50s or 40s.
No, not those
old
kind.
school look with like the hourglass figure.
Before we had color in the world. What a world it must have sucked in to grow up in that era where everything was black and white. Ugh.
Now, the obvious answer, says the emailer, is C. The girl forgot her top or bottom of her two-piece. Good point. Also, hypothetically, put yourself at 9 years of age having a sleepover at Neverland. I understand that Mike was the hottest, as he's told us many times. He was a hot kid. But would he be the most rewarding or easiest target?
For sure.
I think possibly E was most gullible. Possibly.
I was pliable, though. I wanted people to like me. Now, it's hard to know for sure because I wouldn't have known about Jordy Chandler's windfall.
Yeah.
So it would have if it was under the guise of like at some point the payoff makes it so worth it. It's like, yes, the King of Pop is got his tongue buried in your butthole. Sucks on face. But if it's like just put up with it, 30 million, man. Keep thinking, plowing ahead. 23 million.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been savvy enough to know that was the payout.
I know.
It would have had to be contrived with your parents and so forth.
Right.
They wouldn't have gone for that. They wouldn't have sold your butthole for 30 mil, would they? Would Pat do that?
It's irresponsible if they don't.
Bob would do it.
Yeah, he probably as a practical thing, he could set up the family for generations.
He's a logical dude.
Cough up one child's butthole to the King of Pop, and then we've set up generations of great grandchildren for success. I mean, it would be criminal if he didn't.
There's barely even a downside.
And I loved games so much. Who knows? I might have liked, playing, who can get dressed the fastest and hide.
Yeah,
You know-
you'd have played into that pretty well.
You know, wake up in the morning, get the sleep out of your eyes, and then jump up and be like, who wants to go mess up the bed in the other room to make it look like you slept here? Me.
Can we go see
I'll
Bubbles
race ya.
on the way?
I'll race ya. Ooh.
You would have
And
loved
run
the
in there,
monkey.
mess up the bed. Oh, to play with the monkey. Yep.
I think possibly E would be most gullible. Yeah, possibly. And probably would have rimmed MJ for some candy corn. Very, very true.
I hate candy corn.
But Jay might have been the ultimate challenge to MJ, like the 9-year-old Mount Everest.
No,
Maybe
no,
Mike and
no.
E would have let MJ be the middle of the human centipede. Gross.
Jay would have been a fucking disaster. You would have ruined it for everybody, dude. You would have taken
I
the
would have
whole
told.
empire
I
down.
would
You
have
would have told.
For
You would
sure.
have fucking narked. You would have, Faggot Neverland Ranch, Faggot Neverland Ranch, Faggot Neverland.
Yes.
That man right there.
I don't
The
care
one
who
that
he
sang
is.
Billie Jean, wore one glove. I should
Lock
have
him
known.
up! Lock him up!
He tried to lick my butthole.
Yep.
That one right
If he
there.
tried it with me, he'll try it with others.
Please, no one's going to understand.
No.
Please.
Oh my God.
You're ignorant. You're being ignorant, Jay. Please get back over here. Please. No.
Outed him
Faggot
so
Neverland.
fast.
And I'd be sitting there going, oh, there goes the fucking windfall, dude.
Yeah.
What have I been getting my butthole tongued for all these years, for these last 6 months for? Thanks, fuckface. Thanks. Hope you're happy. Hope you're happy. Now none of us get anything. I was going to buy you a Jeep, son.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's get you guys out of here. Snow's still coming down.
Dude, it's barely, though. This is a
Snowpocalypse.
huge disappointment.
It's a snowpocalypse. Yeah.
I don't think so, man. It's a
Yeah,
huge failure
It's a dusting.
of a Geddon.
It's a dusting. Not in the Geddon category, though.
Right.
Oh, the humanity. All right. Hey, last chance, guys. We'll do the drawing on the show tomorrow for those Darren McCarty jerseys that we were raffling off to anybody that puts in any amount of donation to our GoFundMe. We were going to do it today, but he didn't bring the fucking names. So we'll do that tomorrow at some point. So it gives you another 24 hours or so to, if you want to throw your name in the drawing. So we're up over $13,463 right now. Very good. Thank you, everybody, for that. And we're definitely bringing Jerry in. We said if we got over 12 grand, we would do that. So good things coming. So we'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to